Hey everybody, good morning. Me and my buddy are here. Chrislyn decided she wanted to go live with me today. Say hey. Okay, act bashful, why don't you? So today I'm going to be talking about college, some stuff, my adventures in college, and um, yesterday I talked about just some negotiation things, a negotiation deal that we had, and how it turned out, and how it almost ruined my business. But I decided to, because I did something wrong, but I decided to man up and own it, and move forward, and how it changed our company. So today I'm going to talk about college, and so I graduated in 2002 at Franklinton High School. And at that time, I'd also started our graphic design, or my graphic design business. It was really like a glorified decal shop, is what most people call what I was doing. And I originally wanted to go to college and become an electrical engineer. So when I started college in 2002, I went to be electrical engineer, and the sign business, the decal business, was going to pay my way through college. And I remember getting a loan and setting up my cutter, buying it from Resupply in New Orleans, and the guy came and he set up the cutter, and it was really cool. I was going for electrical engineer, and then at some point, I don't remember, I think I was probably about a year and a half, 2 years in, I switched over to human resource manager. I had no clue what that was. Had I known what that was, I knew I didn't want to do general business, because that just doesn't mean that, I don't believe in like being a generalist about anything. So I wanted to specialize in something, and so I did human resource manager. It sounded like it sounded pretty sophisticated, but really what that meant is after school I could probably be a lawyer. There were so many laws that we had to learn. It was crazy. The thing that I wanted, though, was just, as I went through school, I just wanted freedom. Like, I realized I was working jobs I didn't want. I didn't want to work for somebody else, and that's why I switched my degree. I didn't want to work for anybody else. I hated getting up early. I'm not an early person. I hated getting up early, punching the clock. I mean, half the time I'm not even here at 9. Usually because I'm taking care of this thing. Some days when Maggie's working. She is not a thing. She is a superstar that likes Funyuns. I liked Funyuns when I was a kid too. I don't want any, thank you. So I just didn't want to work for anybody else. I wanted to run my own business, but it was tough because I was going to college and I was doing my business, and I had to work another job to supplement, because it was just tough. It was tough to try to make it in college, but I was doing it. I actually took out my student loans, and my student loans were actually were financing my business. So my school was paid for, but my student loans were actually financing my business, and that was that was neat. So I was almost finished. I had one more semester to go, and it was August, and I ran into the girl that helped me create this thing, Maggie, and I met Maggie. 2 weeks later, we were engaged, and 4 months later, we were planning our wedding for 4 months from the time we met. So we got engaged on August 2nd. And then that was when I was 24, so you're 7. We were married 12 years, so we were 5 years into our marriage. So at 5 years after we got married, we had you. And so 4 months, so these 4 months from August 2nd, so it was right at the time school's fixing to start. It's my last semester. I wanted to finish. I was hungry to finish school. And so my last semester, I took on 24 hours in college, and because I couldn't take on any more. I couldn't physically take on any more school. They wouldn't let me because you had to get approved, and I was going to CLEP out of a class. So I had to take a test, and if I passed that test, I got full credit for the class, and then I could graduate, right? So the 24 hours and the CLEP test was my goal. So it was my last semester in school, basically taking 27 hours in school because I had to test out. I was working a part-time job. I was running my sign business. I was youth pastor, and we were planning our wedding for 4 months. It was like, wow. At that time, it was the wildest 4 months of my life. It was ridiculous how much we had to do in that short amount of time, and everything was clicking like clockwork. I was doing good in I was doing good enough in my classes. I wasn't concerned about a 4.0 grade point average. I just wanted to pass. I just wanted to pass and get through a school and be done, because at that time human resource management was so far away from what I was wanting in my life. It was ridiculous. So I get there, and I get all the way to the end. We're getting married December the 2nd, and the end of November I take that test and I miss it by 8 points. I passed all my other classes and I missed that test by 8 points, and I didn't get to graduate. I was like, I felt terrible, but I don't remember feeling too bad because Maggie and I got married and we went on a honeymoon and we started our life. So that was such a joy in my life that at that moment the joy overrode any type of feeling of pain at that moment or failure that I would have felt not graduating. And I didn't care because I didn't need my degree. To me, I was already making money in my business. We were starting our life, and so I didn't need college. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going back. Screw this. Not for me. College is it's just, I don't need it. I don't need college because I have my own business. I have my wife. We have our life. So fast forward 5 years, we move to Hattiesburg. We move to Columbia. What? Yep. We moved to Hattiesburg. We moved to Columbia. And then
and you're slapping me and you're hush.
And we bought RD Graphics here in Columbia, moved into a storefront, and at that time I was living the dream. But I felt pressure from my mother and Maggie to go back and finish school. And Maggie really, like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But I went back to school, and I had to take 3 more classes, and it was tough because I was living in Columbia, having to drive to Southeastern, which is in Hammond. So it's a 2-hour drive from Columbia, 2.5-hour drive to Hammond from Columbia twice a week. It might have been 3 times a week. I might have had to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But at any rate, it didn't matter. It was a long haul, and Maggie really took charge of the business and took over the business for those 4 months, and really the business actually did really well while she was running it. And I went back and I got my degree. I finished college and I got my degree. I walked on stage. Woohoo, right? It was that was such an accomplishment. So what? I mean, that was great. That was great that I got my college degree. I would have been really, really upset if I would have had to pay for that. Like, if I would have had to pay for my college degree, I did have to pay for that semester, but if I would have had to pay the $20,000-$30,000 to get a degree for nothing, like, I would probably be one of the worst human resource managers on the planet. Not only because there's so much that I had to learn, so many laws, just, that's just not me. I think it's 40% of people who get a degree do not get jobs in the field that they graduate in. So, and even one of my college professors told me in my sociology class that you'll only retain 2%. I remember this, 2%. So this is part of the 2%. 2% of what you learn in college, that's what you'll remember is 2%. So when you look at the facts, about college, is college really like necessary? For some. A brain surgeon wouldn't want a brain surgeon operating on me if he didn't have a college degree, if he didn't have a doctorate degree. And however, business, not really pumped about the business program because it didn't teach me a lot about business. Even the marketing classes, I remember going through marketing and thinking, do people really do this? Like, yeah, Coca-Cola buys billboards, but who can compete with Coca-Cola? They got drinks, the drink, the Coke. You get a Coke or a root beer. So they can buy billboards, but they operate. That's what they're called. It's Coca-Cola.
You said Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. That's what they're called. So college didn't help me make any more money. And what I realized over the 17 years is that, college doesn't really help businesses. And so I decided that I'd learned my business on YouTube and Google, and I spent the last 17 years learning. And so I put together this thing that we're fixing to launch. It's called Business Unbox, where I unbox my business and began to share the principles and the things that I put in my business that got us to where we are today. I went from my mother's living room to a 8x12 shed outside my house to a storefront on Main Street in Columbia to a 4,000 square foot office space and real estate, and the things that we've been able to do with our graphic design business because of the principles that we applied. And I'm going to start unboxing those. So the link is facebook.com/Nick Ingram HQ. Go like our page. Go like my page. And then in the next few weeks, you'll see us begin to unbox our business and share with you the principles and the things that's changed the way that we think about business over the last 7 years. We've really been implementing these principles to take us to the next level, to take us to the level of where we are at today, which we're very happy with things that we have, and share with you my YouTube education, because I'm not going to share with you the things that I learned in college. What are you doing, laser girl? All right. Love you. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed mine and Chrislin's video about my college experience.